Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and do I have a car for you today? This 2003 BMW 540i Touring M Sport with the 6-speed manual just sold for $72,000. That's right, $72,000. Well, how is that possible? Well, you know what? Watch this video and find out. Remember, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button. As soon as we reach 10,000 subscribers, I will buy a project car, and maybe this would be a really good project car. Hit that notification bell if you're already a subscriber so you don't miss the next video. Like and share these videos so my channel can grow, and after you watch this video all the way through and find out why this car sold for $72,000, I want you to leave a comment below. What do you think? Should it sold for more? Should it sold for less? Would you buy something else if you had that $72,000? Let me know. I read each and every comment. Well, first of all, what made this E39 sell for so much money? It basically is as close to an E39 M5 Touring you could make. Here in the United States, we don't get touring models, which are known as wagons. We don't really get any wagons anymore. And there is a strong following for car enthusiasts with wagons, especially with 6-speed manuals. Now, the E39 M5 did come only in stick. I'll give you a little background on that car if you're not that familiar with it. It was produced in 4 model years here in the United States, 2000 to 2003. It had the 4.9-liter V8, which was also found in the BMW Z8. It produced 394 horsepower. According to Car and Driver at the time, it had a 0 to 60 run of 4.8 seconds, which was the first M5 to break the 5-second barrier. Brand new cost in the year 2000 was about $73,000. Now, I drove, back in 2000, I worked for a press car delivery service as a young kid, and I drove one of the first E39 M5 in the country. And I grew up on American cars, Mustang GTs, Camaro Z28s, Corvettes, so I love the V8 engine. And once I drove a German V8, I was hooked, and it's pretty much been German cars ever since. Now, this car has a lot of cool resto mods, and apparently the seller really knew what he was doing, and of course that contributed to the price. So how do you sell on Bring a Trailer, which is a very critical audience? If you don't do something right, they can really bash your car, and it could not sell for that much money. But here, a lot of people knew the seller and chimed in on the quality of the seller's builds. Apparently, he's working right now on an E46 M3 Touring, so that should be fun. We're going to have to follow for that. Hopefully, that'll come up for sale later this year or maybe next year. But let's talk about this car for now. So, I don't know about you, but it's always been my dream to have an E39 M5 wagon, and this is as close as you can get to it. Now, keep in mind, Bring a Trailer charges a 5% commission, so the buyer here that bought this car for $72,000 is in over $75,000 once that 5% commission is added. And if you live in a state like mine, New Jersey, that has 7% sales tax on cars, you'd be in it over $80,000. So is it worth $80,000? Well, you're going to comment below after you watch this whole video, and I'll tell you what this car has on it. So first of all, a 2003 540i Touring is pretty rare to begin with. They only made 182 of these M Sport wagons that year. And the seller, what I like about this build is the seller owned the car for a long time. So he didn't just buy it, put in the engine, put in 100 miles or 1,000 miles, and then flip it. He actually purchased this car in 2006. And as I mentioned earlier, he modified it with a 4.9-liter known as the S62 V8 engine from the E39 M5. He put in an E39 M5 6-speed manual transmission, and most importantly, a limited slip differential. Now, he also put in 18-inch wheels, Stop Tech front brakes, which you'll see later, and ground control coilovers. Now, this car, if it looked familiar to you, it was featured in a 2018 issue of Rondell magazine. And it's offered with all the books, manuals, keys, a Carfax report, clean title, and lots of service records. Another thing I love about this car is that it's black sapphire metallic, which is the same color as my 2001 Z3M Coupe. Now, this car is not a clean car, and that could be a surprise or a detriment for a car selling for so much money. In 2007, according to the Carfax, it wasn't a minor accident involving the front and right side of the vehicle. Now, the seller painted this car. The hood, fenders, bumpers, side view mirrors were all repainted in February of 2019. He had some really good videos, walk-around videos of the car, and also driving, starting up in action. Some other important features about this car are the headlights. It's got the Evo by Xenon projectors and the Orion V4 Angel Eyes. And just the stance on this car, I think, is perfect. He's got the 18-inch Style 65 wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 tires. Some modifications are to the interior as well. It is a cup holder delete, so if you have to have your coffee in the morning or some water, this may not be the car for you. So he put in a new M5 steering wheel, ZHP 6-speed shift knob, leather shift boot, black M5 gauges with LED lighting, M5 floor mats, and he's actually put 80,000 miles on this car during the 13 years he's owned it. And so now with the digital odometer, the real mileage on the actual car, not the engine, but the actual car, is 105,000 miles. Now he also put in an entertainment system, so this can really be the ultimate daily driver, from a 2014 BMW X5. And that gives you a 10-inch screen, iDrive controller, Bluetooth navigation, and most importantly, when you have a wagon, is a backup camera. He also put in a killer sound system. And there are some scratches on the car, some missing trim pieces, so it's not necessarily a show car. But the seller seems to be an engineer. He knows what he's doing. He's done builds before. And this car was his baby that he had a long time. So when somebody loved this car for so many years, you know most likely it was done correctly, especially with all the people. And that's why I think it sold for so much money, especially with all the people complimenting the seller and knowing him personally. It's also got a UUC short shifter. And this car is just an amazing car to drive. I wish I could have added it to the collection for Glenn's car collection. It would just be an amazing car. So leave your comments below what you think of this car. Go and bring a trailer. Go to the top right hand corner and hit search, and then type in the words S62, and this will come up on your left side of the screen. This auction, you can see all the videos and play them for yourself. And leave a comment below here what you think of the car. Is $72,000 too much? Keep in mind, after registration, it's about 80 grand. Is that too much? Too little? Would you buy something else with that money? Let me know. Should we get a stick shift BMW wagon as our project car? Remember to subscribe so we can hit that 10,000 subscribers. Thanks again, guys. Remember to like, share, and leave that comment below, and I will see you next time.